Hello, everyone. It's your favorite host with the most, Benjamin Dutil, with the Horror Heathen YouTube channel and the South Jersey Horror Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest who you all know is starring in the new movie, The First Omen. I hope I pronounced your name right. Maria Caballero, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Hey, fingers good. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I'm good. Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, so you play Luz, or is it Luz? Luz?
Luz.
Luz? Okay. And I saw the trailer. It looks like you have a very, very special role in the film. So I'm gonna ask you later about what your role is in the film is, if you can describe your character. But anyway, for those who have not seen the movie, it is about a young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. Sounds a lot like the original Omen from 1974, and this is supposed to be the prequel. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give a round of applause and a warm welcome to Maria. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really happy. I've been here in LA for this week, attending to the premiere, and everything's just beautiful.
I bet
Yeah,
you're excited too. You look excited.
I'm really excited. I mean, it's such a weird thing to share it with the world after 1 year and a half, almost 2 years in the process. Now it's coming out, and it's thrilling. It's yeah. I'm excited to for people to watch it.
Me too. I'm like a little schoolgirl right now. I'm giddy to watch the movie. After watching the trailer, I think the whole world is excited to see what this movie is
Yeah.
about. Especially it's supposed to be the prequel to the original Omen, and it looks fantastic. I just after watching the trailer, my heart was beating like 1,000 times a minute. And it's like this is going to be a fantastic movie. Um, so if you please can tell the audience a little bit about yourself to get to know you better.
hmm So I'm a Spanish actress, and I always had this dream of, you know, becoming a professional actress and doing cinema and coming to Hollywood to premiere movies. And so it's all happening with a lot of effort and a lot of hard work. And I'm finally here. And I'm really appreciating this moment and everything that people are telling about the story, about Luz, It's just amazing. Yeah, I'm just obsessed with cinema and movies and acting in general. And here I am speaking to you.
Well, this is fantastic. I mean, from looking at your resume on IMDb, you have a very impressive resume. Evidently, you're a very, very talented actress, and you were chosen for this role, which I believe is a huge honor to be part of the Omen universe. Um,
Yeah.
so I would have to say that the movie looks incredible, and I can't wait to see it at theaters. So my first question to you is, how did you hear about the role of Luz, and what inspired you to audition for it?
Well, I heard about it through an audition, obviously. And then I had to, shoot myself a self-tape, which is this horrible thing we do lately. And I did it. And then I had a callback, like I think it was 1 month and a half afterwards. So it was really, really, great because no, okay. So like when I first read the description of Luz, I really thought it could be me, you know. I thought, okay, this can work out, in a way. But then there was silence for like a month and a half, and I was like, you know, so anxious. And then the callback came. I watched The Omen in the meantime, which I haven't watched before the audition process. And I was like, praying to the sky, praying to the universe for this to happen because I really, really, really felt connected to the character in a very special way. And so when I met Arkasha and we did the callback, I had this intuition of this is going to be for me, but it was really weird to explain it to my agent and my family, of course. And I had turned out some works, just some jobs while I was waiting for the answer. And so when they finally said yes, and I know they fought for me because it's a very special role and very big role in the movie, and my career is great, but I'm not famous in America, so it was a really bold, risky choice to cast me, and I'm really grateful and thankful to them to do so.
Well, I'm thankful too. I mean, they chose you for a reason, and
Mm,
it's they saw that you have talent, and I know how it feels for anxious to build up. I mean, I've been there before. Waiting
mm.
on the email response to get you on my show. I was like fingers crossed the entire time. I was like, please make it happen, please make it happen. And here you are. It's very exciting for me. Yeah. So, is it possible to tell us in your own words who your character is and why she's so important in the movie?
Hmm. I feel like she's a fighter. She's a person that's always looking to, belong and belong somewhere, which she finally found in the church, in the Catholic Church. But she was many years looking for that home, and now she's not going to give it up, and she feels like she has a higher purpose to her life. And, she's a true believer. She's fierce, she's passionate, she's very intelligent, and, a little bit manipulative. I don't want to say too much, but
Right, right. Yeah,
so
absolutely. I get
she's
it.
all, yeah, but she's like very multi-layered, playing around with her own masks, and very strong and bold. Yeah. She's
So,
also going to become an aunt very soon, so she's enjoying her time before.
okay, that's good to know. I mean, it's so for you personally, are you a firm believer in this stuff actually happens in the real world?
Excuse me, sorry.
I'm
Could you
saying,
repeat that?
absolutely, of course. So, you personally, in your own personal life, do you believe that this kind of stuff actually happens in the real world, the superstition, the supernatural?
I do, yeah. And I also feel like when you watch the movie, you'll understand, but I also feel like in this movie, we talk about something really scary, and it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with the supernatural. It's more of a, you know, power and institutions and controlling control over masses, right? So that's really scary for me, and obviously that happens in the actual world.
I know it's creepy knowing that there's that kind of influence out there, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So it's
Hmm. I know, I know.
it's really scary. Working with the other cast members, there's other familiar names that you see in the movie, like Bill Nighy, a very talented actor, British actor. What, if you can say, what was it like working with him in the movie in on the set?
I mean, it's just mind blowing for me. I admire him since I'm a kid. I watched his movie with my dad, and like then I was meeting him and shaking his hand and on set, and it's just crazy how life works, right? Like, he's amazing. He's a very generous person and actor. We were talking a lot. He came to me one day and said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Who are you?" And I know who you are, and but I talked to him, I explained him where I come from, who I am, and he explained me who he is, which is, the famous actors, you know their name, but you don't really know who they are and their life story. So it was really, really interesting for me to get to know him in that level. And I really admire him and love him. He's a very beautiful human being. Yeah.
Really nice to say. That's awesome. I think he's a
Mm,
talented actor as well. Yeah, seeing his movies. But that's how I feel every
yeah.
time when I talk to someone on my show. I get starstruck. I lose my words, my tongue gets tied, and right now this is just my heart is going, it's fluttering, it's palpitating right now because this is awesome because this. I get excited every time I talk to someone on my show. That's just me. I get starstruck every time. So if I happen to stutter, you know why.
But that's amazing. That means you care about what you do, you know?
So with this movie being the prequel to The Omen, do you feel that this will bring a lot of missing information to that movie about what you think is important?
Yes, that's a really good question. So I feel like The Omen doesn't need anything. I mean, it doesn't need a prequel, it doesn't need a movie that comes after. For me, it's like it's amazing the way it is in itself. But I did have some questions when I watch it. I did like, I was wondering why Damien, like how, and we answer those questions and we give further context to the original and also like not only further context but further meaning to what happens in the Omen. And I feel like audiences are going to really appreciate that because we truly do it in a very respectful way. And also, I do think it's great that we did this movie because my generation doesn't really know the Omen or like most of people. So I feel it's a really good way to have people go watch the Omen after they watch our movie. I also I also really like that. Mm.
So you believe this is going to clear a lot of smoke and get a lot of people out of the woods, and you'll ease up on the confusion and just make everything perfect sense.
I mean, yeah, of course, it makes perfect sense, and it's. I think we did a great movie. Like I watched it for the first time in the premiere. I'm really proud of every member of the cast and crew. I'm really proud of Arkasha Stevenson. She's done an amazing job, and I'm also especially very very proud of Neil Tiger Free. She does this beautiful performance. It's one in a lifetime. It's just wait to you see that scene when she gets out of the car. You'll be shocked to see what that girl can do.
Well, you can really pat yourself on the back too and give yourself a high five. I mean, obviously you're talented enough to be in this movie, and they chose you, which is great. I mean, to be a part of the Omen, universe. And I
Yeah.
mean, this is all about you right now. This is that they chose you to play this role so that they recognize your talent. So that is a huge achievement. Like I said, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a high five. Do what you gotta do and celebrate. I mean, this is a perfect moment for everyone. So,
Yeah.
without spoiling the movie and giving away too many details, if you're allowed,
hmm
what questions do you think the audience is going to have after watching this movie? And what do you think they're going to expect?
It's really complicated to answer, but I do think I mean, they are going to have questions after the movie, yes. What happens with certain characters and what happens in the meantime? Who dies and who doesn't die? Because you know how in horror movies, like you have people who die, but you don't actually see them die and they come back. So, all these questions are going to be banging in people's heads. Uh, but yeah, I don't want to say too much. I'm sorry.
No, 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 I get it. I understand. I'm not gonna press that anymore. Um, so confusion is gonna go away. People are gonna completely understand what's going on. I hope that
Mm,
I understand what's going on because after watching the Omen franchise, I'm still scratching my head, like what in the world is happening? So I'm hoping after I see this in the theater, it's gonna shine some light on the whole mass confusion. And
yes.
so, okay, I have a question, and yeah, I don't know if you let to answer or not. I always ask this question: were there any scenes too difficult for you to film on set?
Hmm. I mean, everything was a challenge for me in a way. It's my first movie in English, working in English. So I was trying to, work very hard to have the same freedom as I do have when I act in my native language. That was a very big challenge for me. But let me see. Yeah, there's a very special scene in which I do something that ah there's this scene which, it's hard to, as actors, we don't have to judge our characters because the only thing we have is the truth within ourselves and what we're doing. So as actors, you really don't need to judge your character, but sometimes it was really hard for me to not do so. Especially in that scene, which I do something, well, questionable.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you and everyone else in the movie. It just looks like it's gonna be an overall fantastic movie. Um, are there any other projects or upcoming movies you're starring in that you'd love to talk about, or is that still under wraps?
I mean, I'm now shooting a series in Spain, back in Spain. Netflix series. So I'm working on that and it's fantastic. It's also like another time period. It's another genre, it's comedy. So I'm really enjoying to, I always love to change as an actress and do very different things because I feel like that's giving me more, I'm learning more. And yeah, you'll see that too soon, I
So
hope.
after acting in this movie, has it changed your perspective on the horror genre, what everything completely?
A lot, a lot. Yeah, 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 of course. I mean, I just didn't know there was such a big also fandom that it's so grateful that, they were waiting for this movie to come out. Like, I just feel like the horror genre has like this big, massive audience and they're really committed and respectful and, they care about it. It's beautiful. It's a whole thing. And I didn't know about it. And also, Mm, on the making it, yes, because I feel like every horror movie has to be grounded in some emotional truth from the actors and from the script. And it was also, well, a thing to discover that. Because if not, it's just about the jumps, and which is cool. I mean, it's also cool. It's just like as an actor, you really need to ground your performance to believe all the supernatural.
So you have strategies that you use before you start performing. Um,
Yeah, of
like,
course. I mean,
so how do you prepare yourself? How did you prepare for this role?
well, I documented myself a lot. I did some research on religion, on cults and fundamentalism. That was very important for me because she really, gives it all for the church. So it was really interesting to understand that in order to become her. And also a lot about my work is focused in background with Luz to, make her as deep as it is. And then I had to forget all that and go to set and play with Arkasha and Nell. You know what I mean? Because it feels she's so dense and so multi-layered, and then I needed to, just be free and sit and let Arkasha guide me, which was a big lesson to, understand how to be guided and to not judge anything, just follow her. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. That's great. Thank you so much. That's all the time we have for now. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's all the questions I have. I ran out of questions.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And, thank you. It's been an honor, pleasure speaking to you about your role in this movie, which I am very excited to see in the theater when it first comes out. Um, and I wish you nothing but the best in your success in your career, nothing but success. And yeah, I will see you on the big screen.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right. Take care.
Take care. It was a pleasure.